rest and renewal, as opposed to rest and relaxation, well, when juxtaposing the two concepts, purpose comes to mind. Rest and relaxation, which you'll see in this pic, means I am relaxing with no desire to do anything non-work related. On the other hand, rest and / renewal restoration, my purpose is to take a break, to recharge, to energize, but more importantly, consult and confer with the spiritual side of me, which stimulates me to be an agent for social change. Social responsibility and activism that are required, it's hard work. No words were ever truer than "I never promised you a rose garden." Maybe the thorns on the rose, but not the... But that said, with any hard work, whether it be on your job, sitting on a board, or volunteering, time should be set aside to restore and be made whole. Well, over the last decade, when I actually counted the years, it's a lot longer than that, I've used the church backpacking trip as my means for rest and restoration. And most importantly, it has been my personal consultation with God. The 5 days we go through the hills and valleys and see some of the beautiful sights. How would I say? There's a time where I'm able to intentionally take time that I never seem to have time for in the city to reflect, to vision. Shall we call it my cerebral detox? I get off the grid, there's no laptops, no text, no boss. I'm just able to reflect. And again, vision. I allow my mind to wander into a realm that can only be described as just that, reflection and vision. I evaluate my past participations in the different endeavors that I've done. And I look to the future and I kind of look up to God and say, am I done yet? Well, I kind of get this answer that it's, if I take an honest evaluation and look around, I can just about hear. In fact, there was a time where I heard this thunder. It was almost on cue as I'm asking God, aren't I done yet? And it was, the thunder's just going. It's like, I kind of interpreted it as saying, are you kidding me? Would you just look in your local area? I'm not even asking you to look in the world. Can you just look in your local area? And you ask that question? Do I really need to answer it? You hear that? I'm just like, guess I got my answer. I mean, unlike some people who might ask for a sign from God, I never asked for a sign from God because I remember the story of Jonah. And I don't really need that in my life. I can't, especially when I'm backpacking. I don't want to look up and see this bear come up on his hind legs and says, so what's it going to be? I'll live without that. Further reflecting, each morning we break camp and we start hiking. We go on our trek. And as you saw by some of the earlier pics, it's quite a haul. But I tell you, when you see the beauty that God has put here, it's worthwhile. It really is. And again, you are so tired, you set aside time to relax. It gives you that time to reflect. Because you're usually pretty spent. Well, in the evenings, as you see here, Julie typically will provide material for us to read and to discuss. And again, we get an opportunity to take a look at what other people are doing, their reflections, and how they're looking at their spiritual walk. To hear the different perspectives on personal spiritual paths, travel, it really inspires you to rest and get ready to continue serving. Amen.